Today's video, we are talking about the Buccaneers 53-man roster and all the cuts that came along with it to get to that point. Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and I have a water bottle in my hand, and in today's video, we're talking about the Buccaneers 53-man roster. You know, it's official, it's finalized. Practice squad's also included in this video, so there you go, a little bit of a bonus round. And, yeah, we're going to be talking about it today. So, the cuts have happened, everything's done. There were a couple of surprises, some sad ones, some good ones. And, you know, we're going to be talking about all of it today. So, let's get right into it, okay? Let's get right into it. I made a roster predictions video. If you guys want to go check that out, it's going to be in the eye icon on the top right of the screen. You know, just talk about that. And, you know, let me know down in the comment section below. What were you guys surprised about? You know, what were you happy with? What were you sad with? You know, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe and go check out all the links down below with Patreon, social media links, all that. But anyway, finally, let's get into it, okay? Starting off with the quarterback position, you have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Ryan Griffin. No surprises here. Jameis Winston's suspension means that he does not count towards a roster spot for the first 3 weeks of the year. That's pretty huge moving forward, and we'll get into the implications of that when we have to get to it. But it's good for at least one person, because that means that he, you know, that Jameis being suspended means that they get to be on the roster for 3 weeks, and hopefully cement their spot in the roster for the rest of the year, or hopefully show off for other teams and show what you can do in practices and whatnot, and just build up your resume, if you will. So that's good. You know, it sucks that Jameis is suspended, don't get it wrong, but it's good for that one guy who made the roster because of that. So, you know, whoever that person may have been, shout out to them. At the running back position, now this is where things get a little bit surprising, okay? You have Peyton Barber, Ronald Jones, Jaquiz Rogers, and finally, undrafted rookie free agent Sean Wilson. Now, a lot of people predicted this after Charles Sims went down with a knee injury that put him on the injured reserve, and then the Buccaneers released him from the injured reserve. A lot of people thought, well, it's going to be Sean Wilson. You know, there's no doubt about it. It should be Sean Wilson, and I agree with that. He's looked very good this year. You know, in the practices and in the preseason games, he looked very, especially the last game, he looked very electrifying. He had good balance, good speed, good agility, and whatnot. He just looked like a pretty speedy, good running back and a good returner as well. So he's probably going to be our return specialist possibly to start, which is encouraging. Hopefully he does really good in that role, and hopefully he can have a kind of Peyton Barber-esque rise where, you know, you start off as an undrafted free agent and you just start working your way through special teams, and then you really start making a name for yourself later on. Ronald Jones does have some stuff to improve on, obviously. He does need to get some more momentum going, and Dirk Cutter even said in a recent press conference and whatnot, he said, yeah, it's frustrating because, you know, not all, you know, it's a combination of a lot of stuff, you know, some of it's his fault, some of it's the offensive line's fault, and it's frustrating because we know what he can do. He knows what he can do. He's done it in practice loads of times. It's just unfortunate. You know, it's just very frustrating. So I really hope he can start building some momentum moving forward. That'd be really encouraging to see. The wide receiver position, they carried 6, and this is where I got my first prediction wrong. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Adam Humphries, Deshaun Jackson, Justin Watson, the 5th round rookie. We all knew he was going to make it. And Freddie Martino was the last one to make it in over wide receiver Bobo Wilson. That's pretty surprising in my opinion. You know, I wasn't expecting that. So now that Martino's gotten it over Bobo Wilson, you know, a lot of people speculated that Bobo's only real value was as a return specialist and whatnot. He kind of lost out on that job to Sean Wilson. So you got to figure that Bobo, you know, he'd just be valued as a speedy 6th wide receiver who could run some end arounds and whatnot, but you already have that with Adam Humphries. So it's like, we don't really need you right now. We'll put you on the practice squad. We'll let you hang out, you know, build up some stuff, and then next year you can come in and hopefully have a bigger role for this team. They went with the more reliable veteran option in Freddie Martino, who has a pass with Dirk Cutter, and he's shown to do some good things in regular season games, as has Bobo Wilson. But, you know, Martino's looked good. He certainly hasn't looked bad that much. So, you know, shout out to Martino. He made this roster. It was a pretty clear sign when he was held out at the llast preseason game where he just didn't play. He was a healthy scratch is what they call it. So, you know, that was good for him. Tight ends, no surprises. Anthony Auclair, Cameron Brate, Alan Cross, OJ Howard, no surprises there. You know, I'm just going to skim past that one. It's very encouraging because we have a lot of good tight ends. At the offensive lineman, they decided to carry 10. And actually, fun fact, your boy was able to report one of these, and we'll get to it in a second. I was actually able to report it. It was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the guy who made it, so I'm a huge fan. The guy's awesome. Caleb Benenoch, Alex Kappa, DeMar Dotson, Ryan Jensen, Mike Lidke, Ali Marpet, Donovan Smith, Evan Smith, Leonard Wester, and Adam Gettis. Not a lot of people were suspecting Adam Gettis to make this roster. Not a lot. And your boy was the first person to report that Adam Gettis made this roster, because I'm a huge fan of Adam Gettis. He's great. I predicted he was going to make it. Everybody was like, James, I don't think he's going to make it. I was like, oh, he's going to make it. And guess what? He made it. Boom! I'm happy. I'm so happy that he was able to make the roster. You know, it's great. I love Adam Gettis. He's a wrestling fan. He's a chill dude. He's great. But again, not a whole lot of surprises here. Actually, you know, Mike Lidke was doing real good for us. He was able to play guard. He was able to play tackle. He showed some versatility, as did Adam Gettis as well, playing both guard and center, kind of in that Evan Smith-ish type role. Both those guys were kind of Iron Men in terms of the backup offensive linemen. They were just being moved everywhere and just playing as much as they could, so not really a little surprising, I guess, you know, in the case of like Lidke, but those guys were our Iron Men for the backup offensive linemen, and they were really putting in that work, and they were looking pretty decent. So to me, it wasn't a surprise. Caleb Benenoch, Alex Kappa, makes sense. DeMar Dodson, Ryan Jensen, Ali Marpet, Donovan Smith, Evan Smith. None of those made, you know, none of those are very surprising to me. Leonard Wester got in, which, you know, that's fine. I honestly thought his position was up in the air for me because I didn't know what was going to happen because of how many games he'd missed with injury and whatnot. I honestly didn't know what was going to happen. It looks like he could be our starting tackle, left tackle for week 1 with Donovan Smith out. It could be Mike Lidke as well, but I don't know if they're going to go with Lidke, who's had minor experience at the tackle position at this point, or they're going to go with Wester, who, if healthy, at least he's had more experience at the left tackle position than Lidke. So it should be interesting to see which one we're going to be starting with. I think either option's fine, but it should be interesting to see for sure. A lot of people were surprised that they're carrying 10 offensive linemen. I don't really think it's that much of a surprise because with how many injuries the Bucs have had on the offensive line just recently in the past couple of years, they need as many guys as they can. They need flexible guys. That's really valuable. You have Gettis who can play guard and center. You have Lidke who can play guard and tackle. You have Smith who can play guard and center. So the Bucs like versatility in their backup offensive linemen. I do too, especially if they're veteran-y, versatile backup offensive linemen. So we have a couple of guys like that in there, and it's pretty nice to see. So I think our offensive line is good, and it makes sense to me why we would carry 10, because, you know, if an injury happens, we're prepared and we have flexible guys, so it's good, you know. So we can basically handle an injury at any position without having to go sign a guy and bring him in raw and say, here you go, let's go. You know, it doesn't like screw you over. So moving on to the defensive line position, you have Bo Allen, Will Clark, Vinnie Curry, Will Golston, Gerald McCoy, Jason Pierre-Paul, Noah Spence, Mitch Unrein, who's currently on the injured reserve because of concussion problems, Vita Vea, and Jarrell Worthy. Jarrell Worthy was surprising that he made it, and I think the only reason that he did make it was because Mitch Unrein is currently on the IR, and he will be back. He's on the injured reserve designated to return. I believe he should be back soon. Not soon. He should be back in 8 weeks. I could be dead wrong on that information. If you guys figure out something otherwise, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you're enjoying the video, by the way, go ahead and hit the like button because it's greatly appreciated. Not many surprises here besides Jarrell Worthy. He impressed really well in that last preseason game, which was nice to see. He was getting in the backfield a lot on run plays and on passing plays and whatnot. He looked pretty good, and he's a former second-round pick, so that's always good to see, in my opinion. Again, not a lot of surprises here. Pretty much what everybody expected it to be. That's all good. Linebacker position now, you have Quan Alexander, Levante David, Adarius Taylor. Kendall Beckwith is on the PUP list, I believe, or the non-football injury list, so he'll be out for the first 6 weeks. That sucks. We're missing Kendall Beckwith and Mitch Unrein for, you know, the first 6 to 8 weeks of the year. That's unfortunate. However, Jack Sitchie and Cameron Lynch both made the roster. Riley Below has reverted to the injured reserve, and Jack Sitchie and Cameron Lynch are in over guys like Devontae Bond, Nigel Harris, and a couple other guys as well. Good for them. Good for them. I thought that, you know, Cameron Lynch was one of the more impressive backup linebackers, if not the most impressive backup linebacker during this preseason. A lot of them didn't show a whole lot, but Cameron Lynch was around the ball a lot, and I even made a note of it in my last preseason review, was, yeah, Cameron Lynch was around the ball a lot, and yeah, he did pretty good. Jack Sitchie is interesting as well because You know, he has so much upside, and I really hope he can come into his own and just start doing really good for this team. He was supposed to be a third-round draft pick, like I've said like 100 times now, but, you know, he has a lot of upside, so hopefully he can tap into that potential and we can have another great linebacker steal on our hands. Cornerbacks, the Buccaneers decided to go with 6, which was pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but we'll get to that, the reason why in a minute. It's Carlton Davis, Brent Grimes, Vernon Hargraves, Ryan Smith, MJ Stewart, and Devontae Harris. I was not expecting Devontae Harris. I was very surprised at that move. The former Saint brought in. He's coming in. He's hopefully going to do some good things for us. That was pretty surprising to see. Another surprise. A lot of people weren't expecting that, along with Jarrell Worthy. But cool. I'm down for it. You know, it's very encouraging to see. You know, all good. You know, wonderful thing. We have six guys. I assume Ryan Smith is going to be one of our main special teams ace for us now. We'll get to why in a little bit. But does that mean that Ryan Smith is going to end up being a team captain for us? I hope not, because I don't know how I feel about Ryan Smith being a team captain for us. That would make me really sad. But yeah, cool. Shout out to Devontae Harris. That's really cool that he made the roster. I'm very happy for him. Safety position. This is the biggest surprise of them all, okay? So you have Chris Conte, Justin Evans, Jordan Whitehead, and Isaiah Johnson. Keith Tandy and Josh Robinson are cut. Both of them gone. They're both gone. They're both gone. Holy crap. I was not expecting that at all. Were you guys? Because I wasn't. Keith Tandy and Josh Robinson both cut. Josh Robinson is special teams ace, which is why I'm saying now Ryan Smith's going to be our special teams ace. And Keith Tandy, you know, reliable safety for the past handful of years for us. There was a lot of people surprised by both those moves. And then some people started explaining, well, those guys were basically both special teamers for the most part. The Bucs had invested a second and a fourth-round draft pick at the safety position in the past 2 years, so it makes sense that guys who were just regulated to special teams roles, eventually they'd get cut. I agree with that slightly. Yes, okay, if they're special teams guys, then, you know, that does diminish their value a little bit. But if you were willing to keep them for the past couple of years, why not just continue to keep them? Because the guys that you still, you know, Josh Robinson, you know, if they're really good special teams players, then why get rid of them? Special teams is 1/3 of the game played, so, you know, that, I kind of understand where it's coming from, but still, even if it is limited value, a lot of these guys who try to make the roster anyway are supposed to show their value on special teams. So, you know, if somebody's really valuable at special teams, that means that they're valuable enough to make the roster if we're following that method. So these guys were really valuable on special teams, so technically following that logic, they should have made the roster. But still, I understand. Hopefully, you know, this just is a good thing because it means that Justin Evans and Jordan Whitehead are coming along very well. So that's a good thing to see. Chris Conte isn't cut. The hashtag cut Contes couldn't happen, unfortunately, but, you know, it is what it is. Specialists and whatnot, Brian Anger, Chandler Catanzaro, and a long snapper to be named. And that's all good, you know. That makes sense. You know, nothing crazy, right? And I'm looking up the practice squad real quick. Everybody bear with me. But, yeah, everything looked pretty good. Everything looked pretty good, all things considered. You know, is good. Besides the whole, you know, besides the whole, how do I put this? Besides the whole safety thing, everything went along pretty well. And I was gonna pull up a practice squad for you guys, but I can't do it right now. I'll put it down in the comment section below, and then we can talk about it then. But yeah, guys, that's it. You know, there were a couple of surprises there: Jarrell Worthy, Devontae Harris, Keith Tandy, Josh Robinson getting cut. Adam Gettis was a surprise, but not to me, because your boy loves Adam Gettis. I love Adam Gettis. I hope he sees this video. He's the best. He's the absolute best. Okay? He's going to be the best offensive lineman we have, because he's the best. I'm so hyped about Adam Gettis. I'm coughing right now. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, leave a like. Share it. We're really close to 2,000. Okay, we're like so close. We are so freaking close. Okay, it's incredible. So yeah, you know, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section below. Any surprises, anything that you would have changed, let me know all that down in the comment section below. Go follow all the social media links down in the description. Go check out the Patreon down in the description. Be greatly appreciated. I hope you guys liked the new intro. There's going to be a lot more stuff like that because I got After Effects and I'm using it. I have some stuff up my sleeves. So, you know, it's going to be great. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now. And go Bucs!